Marketers are always trying to get more bang for the buck. How do I get more yield for those advertising dollars that are so precious? And today, a lot of the platforms that are out there involve so-called A/B testing. And this is all about trying one solution, seeing how the yield looks, and then try another one and see how it looks, compare the two, and pick the best. Babak, Sentient Technologies has got a lot of customers on your platform that are marketers that are getting better results using your platform. You've significantly improved the outcomes. How does that work?
When you do an A/B test, you're essentially checking a new creative for a new page, for example, on your website or mobile against your incumbent. And you're doing a good statistical analysis on that with diverting your traffic to it. And that's a really good state of the art. However, only 1 out of 7 of those A/B tests are actually going to produce a B that's better than A. Right. So a lot of work and creativity went into building this test, but the outcome is very limited. So what we do with our AI is that we actually open the hands of the creative forces here, the designers, to come up with all sorts of different degrees of freedom on their designs and have the AI go out and test that. And the search space is often in the hundreds of thousands or millions. And it comes back with, here's the best design so far, and then builds a new design based on the designs that have been evaluated.
So you go from A/B to thousands of tests happening at the same time.
That's right.
How do you collect the data on that? How does the AI work to collect and optimize the data on that?
The data is running through the system live. And essentially what we're doing is we're mapping the preferences of our users to what we should show to them, so that at any given point in time we can find the best possible combination of changes that the designers have given us into the pages that work best.
And so what are customers seeing in terms of improved ROI on the marketing dollars?
More than 80% of the time we actually make a significant improvement on ROI. And the reason for that is because we're testing much more, and we're giving more freedom to our designers to test more and much faster.
And then going that next step of building, once you get the results, building an iteration that's going to be optimized. How does the platform do that? Is there design creative inputs to that? Is there human workflow in that? Or are you actually the AI is building the next iteration?
The AI is actually doing that. The AI is learning from what worked in the past, taking bits and pieces of that, mixing it into new designs and trying those out. If a design isn't quite working, it gets rid of it very quickly. The designs are always within the confines of the brand identity and so forth. So we're not going to test something that as a brand your company is not comfortable with.
Right.
But as we get improvements, we're going to take those improvements and come up with new designs. So the AI on an online fashion is actually coming up with new and better designs for you.
You're building up these huge data sets of outcomes and improved outcomes. Is there an ability to ultimately predict what is going to work and reduce the amount of testing necessary because you can predict what's going to cause the engagement?
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's how the system actually works, is constantly predicting what changes would more probably yield better results. And based on those predictions, coming up with new designs all along. And then that is insight that we can take back to the marketing department and say, look, these sorts of changes, these kinds of designs are actually working better. So more of this, please.
Is there demographic information that weighs into that? I mean, marketers think they know what they're targeting, but there's a lot of opportunity to expand a market segment that marketers haven't thought of. Is there some ability to say, hey, if you thought about this new potential segment using the prediction model?
What happens is that we create these designs based on what we know about the users and mapping that to what we want to show at any given point in time. Again, there's feedback that we can take from there and say, look, this kind of profile, this kind of time of day for these people, they react better to this kind of design.